All right, guys. Let's go to get started here. This should be, well, it's not going to be what you think it is. I don't know if you've been following me on this channel. Every now and then when I talk about two bands, I end up stepping into it. Okay? That's not what's happening here. Hopefully not. But yes, is BAND-MAID more or less organic than BABYMETAL? Is what we're talking about here. And how did we get here? Well, I saw a post on the BABYMETAL subreddit. And I can put it on the screen here. Let's see if I could work OBS. Technical difficulties. Let's put it on the screen. Boom. And there we go. BABYMETAL or BAND-MAID. And I saw this. I was like, one of these. It doesn't have to be one or the other, guys. But, I'll humor a silly question. So it's like, well, why not both? Why not both? I mean, if you phrase this, if you're trying to ask a silly question like, if you could only choose one, what would it be? It's like, okay, well then I guess this one. But like, why can't I smuggle both onto the desert island? Why can't I take both? Like, that's what I'm asking. So why not both? Because I like both bands. I like both, and I don't see anything wrong with that. There's some people who say that there can only be one BM band. Okay, there can only be one, and they'll have their reasons why and whatever. And this is not a BABYMETAL is better than BAND-MAID or BAND-MAID is better than BABYMETAL stream. That's not what I'm looking for to do here. If you think that's what's going on, it's totally not. In fact, I'm gonna try to do everything I can to make sure that I try not to be biased or whatever. Obviously, I am. Obviously, I have a personal preference which one I like a little bit more, as we do. And like, if you're in this space and you like BAND-MAID and BABYMETAL, then you have a certain leaning too, or maybe you just like one, and maybe not. Maybe you kind of like the other one. Maybe it's like you tolerate it, or maybe you don't even care at all. Well, okay. Hey, that's totally you, man. All right. And now, you have your reasons, right? We all have our reasons why we like these bands. You could definitely like both, like I said. You can like, well, for all sorts of reasons. You could even compare them, like in your head, be like, why is it I like this over the other? That's fine. That's what you're doing, right? That's all good. Now, but when you go into like discussions on Reddit or like with friends or whatever, other fans about this, it gets a little silly, right? It's a very silly comparison, and I'm all for silly comparisons. If you see the community posts that I have on this channel, I'll compare bands that don't even seem like there was one time I did compare Love Bites and BAND-MAID. That definitely did happen. It's a 5-piece. They're both 5 pieces. I know they play totally different genres. It was totally insane. Like, why would you do that? It's so stupid. Yeah, it's a stupid question. It's a stupid hypothetical. It's just a stupid. What do you think? What do you think? But it is definitely here with BABYMETAL and BAND-MAID. It is really silly to compare. I mean, other than being Japanese, what else is there? Like, what else could you say? They wear, they have a particular style that they present. Sure, okay. They both kind of have a kawaii aspect, a little bit. Yeah, that's definitely there in BAND-MAID, but with the cute maid outfits, that was the intention, and how it was designed. So there is that. And then that's where it ends. I mean, there you go. But what we're going to be asking here, though, is the band more or less organic? Because that's something that came up here in this BABYMETAL or BAND-MAID thing. And I chimed into it as well. And then I was kind of light on some stuff, too. What was it? This person here says, Pearl Jammer says, I don't know. No, sorry. Go back. Where was the whole organic thing? Come on. Oh, right here. Zebra Jazz says, I like them both too, but BAND-MAID to me is more of an organic band. Baby Metal is more musical theater, and it's not a competition. Well, I agree, it's not a competition, and I also can see that. I'm gonna say this, hey, Baby Metal fans. Remember, I am a Baby Metal fan myself, but I will say this: Baby Metal is not a traditional band. I don't think that's a controversial statement. I don't know. I don't see how any Baby Metal fan would be bothered by that statement. They're not a traditional band. When you think of a traditional band, you think of people coming together playing instruments or whatever, and that's not what's going on. I mean, sure, when you watch them live, when they do the concerts, that's what you see. Yeah, fine, but that's not really what it is, though, necessarily, right? Is it? No. It's different. It's more like a J-pop unit that plays metal. With the sing and the dance, that's what it is. In fact, that's how Baby Metal started. It was a J-pop subunit of Sakura Gakuen, right? And so there's nothing wrong with that. That's not a diss towards it. I don't know. Hopefully, there's not a Baby Metal fan that takes that statement to be offensive. So it'd be like, dude, they literally are. They literally are a J-pop unit that plays heavy metal. There's nothing wrong with describing it like that. I will totally defend that they are metal. They're 100%. Baby Metal is metal, but a traditional band, that they are not. And there's nothing wrong with that either. So yeah, I do agree with this that I can see that the Baby Metal could be described as musical theater or an entertainment package or something like that. Now, the organic thing really caught my eye. Organic. And I chimed into this too. I thought, yeah, it's like... See? So Pearl Jammer responds, I don't know what you mean by organic. In the end, both are corporate-backed bands. Neither was created in the romanticized kids playing in the garage way. BAND-MAID is a more standard band in the gimmick. Now, remember, just about every band has a gimmick. Gimmick doesn't... Kiss has a gimmick. Rammstein has a gimmick. Ghost has a gimmick. Obviously, we're going to name the obvious one. Slipknot has a gimmick. They could even say Pantera had a gimmick. Just that look. I mean, come on. All right, let's see here. Ozzy had a gimmick for sure. War had a gimmick. Rob Zombie. Okay, we got it. There's a lot of gimmicks out there. There's a lot of gimmicks. If you're watching, let me know what other band has gimmicks. All right. But anyway, he adds with Baby Metal, the quietness and the choreography are integral parts of the show, as important as the music itself. Was just the music and Sue, a great singer, we could have a more standard band, but it wouldn't be Baby Metal, right? Baby Metal's a totally different thing. Okay, and I chime in here. I was like, I think it means organic in the sense that BAND-MAID was found by the members coming together to form the group and play and get signed to a corporate label. But I was corrected. That's not how they were formed. Okay? I was corrected. I thought for the longest time that's how they got together. But then again, I never really looked that closely into a BAND-MAID origin story. I don't really, unless someone tells me, I'm like, I like the music. That's cool. Oh, how'd they form? Oh, okay, that's cool too. All right. But apparently there's something else. There's a post here. I'll just read that here. So this I found in the BAND-MAID it's a BAND-MAID prehistory. Okay, it explains it a little bit at how BAND-MAID was formed, and I believe it to be true. It's in the BAND-MAID subreddit, and if it was false, and they would have kicked it out, right? I mean, they would have trashed it. But from this, what I had gathered, I'll read through some of it. Let's see. Okay. Well, let's start right here. My understanding is that in Japan, the aspiring musicians are managed by those talent agencies as if it's a normal type of employment. It's quite different from how musicians are treated in the West, where they usually have to go a long way on their own, proving they can be successful, starting in a garage, etc., blah, blah, blah. And only after they actually get some following, big label may consider signing a contract with them. In Japan, it seems like it's a other way around. If you want to pursue a music career, you go to one of the talent acquisition agencies, and if they hire you, they also provide you with all the help. Well, I don't know if it's all the help. There's always a catch, right? There's always a cutoff. With all the help you may need, including composers, coaches, promotions, everything else. If you don't bring them money, see, there's always something, right? Pay to play. Nothing in this life is free. They may assign you something else to do, like serving as a waitress in a cafe. But the overall goal is not forgotten. If you want to be a musician, you have to prove that you can be one. Otherwise, you are fired. Wow. Okay. And he has some corrections here. He says, like, this doesn't apply to all Japanese musicians. Hashtag not all, in case you got to put that in there. There's always exceptions to the rules, guys. I don't think we have to point that out. I think we can figure it out, right? All right, but some people need that. There's always exception to the rule, always. Okay. Baby metal built around Sue. That is true. That is true. Now, we're gonna read how BAND-MAID was formed. Okay. Mika, or Miku, as you guys know, or as Miku Noguchi. Am I saying her last name right? It's the first time I'm actually pronouncing her last name out loud. Noguchi bags, huh? Mika, I was just called Miku. Miku was working part-time at home, made cafe 2011 to 2012 under the nickname Himawari, Sunflower. At the same time, a bit later, she was employed by Platinum Passport and was a member of a three-piece pop idol band until it became clear that it was a dead end. She meditated on the issue. It came with a bright idea to play heavier music while posing as cute maids. I think she could have been promoted or prompted to think such a gap. We'll skip through this. And then, okay, this part of support right here. This is what we're looking for. Miku says she went to Platinum Passport, offered him this idea. The idea of playing, let's see, this right here. The idea of play heavier music while posing as cute maids. Okay, that idea. So she offered that idea to Platinum Passport, and they liked the idea. They approved it, and they posted an announcement on their website, and they started searching for musicians. So, and so it's still like a traditional band in the sense that the musicians got together and all that. I mean, some will bring up that, well, it looks like she already had a label, already had that help there too. But I will say this. It is still very different than how Baby Metal was formed. Okay. All right. Baby Metal is the product of a producer that had a crazy idea. I'll be like, oh, what about Sue? What about that? Yes, they're very talented, and they're part of it. And that's part of the reason why he got he had the idea, right? And he saw Sue. I'm referring to Koba Metal. When Sue was a Karen girl for, I don't mean Karen as the new slur or whatever, for Sakura Gakuen. He was impressed with Sue's voice, and he had this crazy idea to combine the kawaii and the heavy metal, and he thought Sue could do it. So you already had a producer thinking of what to do. He's searching for a talent, waiting for something to come, and something did. Sue came to his attention. He was impressed. He's like, all right, I need two of the girls. Okay. They were also in Sakura Gakuen. And so what you have there, though, is you have a producer that had the idea. So that's why when I describe Baby Metal being formed from the top on down, that's what I mean. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not a bad thing. It doesn't make it any... Like... Okay. I guess now we should really ask the question. Does this even really matter? That one being more organic than the other. Okay? And you gotta think, the organic, what does that even mean? Like when you think of organic, you're thinking allowed to grow naturally, form naturally, without any sort of influence or anything, right? Artificial stuff. Comparing the two, based on what you know, the brief history I laid out, and there's probably some things I missed, some things that were not perfect, but you got the general idea. If you compare the two just based on that, it's like, well, one has definitely a more organic, natural form to it, but does it though? One has a natural form to it for a rock band. The other one, Baby Metal, weren't they just isn't that the standard procedure of how these J-pop groups are formed anyway? Now I think about it, it's like if that's the normal thing that happens, like they when they form I guess J-pop units. I don't know. I don't know the history of all these different units. Repo Bob may know this one. Okay. This is a standard practice where the kids go to a special school, and the school is tied to the talent agency, and it becomes like a whole thing, and it's a whole unit. That is an interesting process. I mean, it definitely is not the same as a group of musicians getting together in a garage and forming a band, Or a musician that has an idea and has talent and talked to a producer or her label and was like, hey, I have this crazy idea, but I think it'll work. And they saw something in it and was like, okay, we'll do it. And I reached out to people and find them and get together. It's vastly different. Yeah, Paul Skabob says Sue was performing on stage as early as 8 years old. Yes. Yeah, I mean, there was a comment on, we'll get to that here. So, obviously, I did my short earlier today announcing this stream. And I had some pretty good comments. I enjoyed reading them. I think, this one right here. By Ross Delano, 7603. Did Baby Metal pay their dues by playing hundreds of concerts at tiny clubs during their early years? I will say, Baby Metal, you don't even like Baby Metal for this. You could think Baby Metal is trash or whatever. But those girls paid their dues by through all the training and what they went through. The whole process of the Sakura Gakuen and all that stuff. Yeah, they paid their dues. They paid their dues in the music, I guess, in the musical sphere that they're in. Okay, it's totally different from a rock band, and that's, of course, they play shows. They play a lot of small venue shows too. Okay, and they're always singing and dancing. They have to have high energy, always be smiling, even though if you're not happy, even if you have to force it, So, yeah, they definitely pay their dues. That's just water. So remember, we got here because it was a silly comparison. Someone brought up the question of baby metal or BAND-MAID, as if like you can only like one, you know. And from there, it was like someone was like, "Well, one's more organic than the other, but I like both." It's like, and then I guess we started splitting hairs on what do you mean by organic, and then it's kind of like, does it even freaking matter? It doesn't even matter. It doesn't. It doesn't at all. Because here's what I noticed. I noticed that like someone will use that like baby metal or BAND-MAID is more organic, and some BAND-MAID fan or say band. Okay, my brain's crossing these things. Okay. It seems like at times, I don't want to be careful. Okay, don't include everybody. I think we should know, right? That some baby metal fans get it. They get triggered, for lack of a better word, when someone says something like, this other band's more organic, or in this case, BAND-MAID. And it's like, why? Why does that bother you? You know? If you like baby metal and that doesn't bother you, then I'm not talking to you. But if it does, then I have to ask why. Because if you like that band, if you like that group, then what does it matter if some other band that's completely different, that plays a different type of music, they're not even comparable, has a totally different origin story? How does that impact whether you like a band? How does that impact your opinion of that band? Like, even if your sense of having your opinion validated, like, how does it affect that? I really don't see how it should. Thanks for the subscribe. Thank you. Always have cool gifts ready to go. Just, all right. I think there actually might be more. You gotta sub and see. Man, I haven't changed those gifts in a long time. Both bands are awesome, totally different, but totally awesome. Exactly. It doesn't have to be a competition. It shouldn't be. Would it be cool if they ever collabed? Honestly, I don't even know what the hell they would do. Okay, because it doesn't even seem like it would. It would be like BAND-MAID would be the commie band for that one song, and then the girls would do their, they would make it into like a baby metal song. Okay, I don't think it would work. I just do not see that. I don't even see how they would collab, really. But would it be cool if they were both in an anime together? Yeah, that would be kind of cool. I don't know how that would work, but that would be cool. Let's see. Let's read some of these other comments here. From Stealth Cabby 1336, as a BAND-MAID fan who also listens and likes the baby metal concept, here's what I understand from the BAND-MAID side. Miku was signed to a record label. Yeah. Okay, so he's telling the history a little bit. So Miku was signed to a record label talent thingy. They formed an idol group called Little Common. Is that the name of the group? How did I look past that when I was reading the history? The group was called Little Common? Whatever. Anyway, they formed an idol group called Little Common with two other girls. Okay. That project failed. Well, I wonder why. But because Miku didn't want to be dropped by the management, she came up with the BAND-MAID idea. So her label management, whatever group, basically said, build the group, come back to us. Miku saw Konami, and I don't know the exact order. I'm just reading this comment here. Miku saw Konami on a Japanese YouTube site and invited her to the idea, and looks like and then looked for a drummer. Konami recommended Akane. Dude, then they got Misa, and that stuff is cool. Like, how did this band get together? That's what some people like about an origin story. How did these people even come together? So, yeah. I mean, you don't get that story. You're not going to get that story with Baby Metal. You're just not. What you get with Baby Metal is you get, well, these girls went to a special school called a Sakura Gakuen J-pop unit that was also a school. I don't know if it's like special outside of a school, like extra activities, but or if it's like its own thing. I don't know. But and then the musicians are like studio guys that are they're really good, of course. All right. Let's see. This Jonas W 3945 says BAND-MAID is a rock band, Baby Metal is an idol group. Exactly. Already right there, you can't compare. You just stop it right there. You know? They're like, wait. You realize you're comparing a rock band with an idol group? Okay. Just want to make sure you understand that. Rock bands are organic? Well, not all. Not all. Okay, some are like what is like this? What do you call them? The super groups, where like they'll take. It's like they take members from different bands and they put them together to form some super group. I remember that, hearing a lot of that stuff, and it's like behind the scenes, there's some like management shit going on behind. Is that really organic? Is that, that's kind of like making shit happen, Not all rock bands are organic, but let's see. Vegeta 6555 says, "Who cares? They're both awesome." I agree with that. Yeah, man. Oh, let's see. Bay Metal. This person here, Randall Danner, says Bay Metal started with a label, but they said, "F that, we could do this ourselves." Now, does BAND-MAID still have a label? I mean, they would have to for all the touring and stuff. I mean, that's being bankrolled by someone. Isn't it JPU? I even responded. I thought it was JPU. Let's see. Oh wait, I think it's this one right here. Isn't JPU their current label, or Canyon Pony, or whatever it is too? I'm not sure. Like, I'm not that knowledgeable on BAND-MAID. I like their music. I'm more knowledgeable about Baby Metal than I am BAND-MAID. Okay. But well, I mean, they started as an idol group, as a subunit for the Sakura Gakuen. I mean, yeah, sure, you could make the argument that they have become something else. I'm not sure what that something else is. Because like when you look at it, you got to imagine imagine someone totally new to Baby Metal looking at it for the first time. Someone from the West, right? It's like, what is this? Like, is it a band? Is it the as far as I can't really think of other acts you have to compare it to in the States. I mean, we have pop groups, and we have pop singers and stuff, but like, it's not even that. I don't know how you compare it. I mean, shit. If we want to split hairs on the definition of what a band is, be like, well, isn't it a band of musicians playing on a stage? So therefore, it's a band. Oh, okay. I mean, I could see how you could do that. But though, when people say band, they do imagine like that. They imagine a rock band and how a rock band normally looks. There's a certain look. Certain arrangement. But sometimes, it's fun to go down these silly questions and argue about this, that, and another until someone gets super defensive about it, and it's like, whoa, dude, whoa. are super like argumentative, like sort of yelling, but like, whoa, man, hey, we're just talking here, you know, you're taking it too serious, okay? Uh, so that was that part there. I think we navigated that. I think that was pretty much it. I mean, the other question I could ask is, does it even really matter as far as sound goes? I mean, that's kind of uh, what that question was. There's a band's origin story of how they formed. Yeah, does that? How much does that weigh into like if you like their music? Is this something you even factor at all? I listen to a lot of bands because of this channel, and I don't know any of their backstories until you guys let me know. Like the warning, that one you guys let me know in the process of doing it, and so there was kind of an education. I was learning a lot about the band while reacting to the band, so that was kind of cool. But a lot of these bands I don't know anything about, just kind of like, oh, okay. Um, and then I also listen to a lot of bands that I don't react to here, and I don't know about their origin story either. So, and it doesn't impact whether I like the band one way or the other. It's like I like the music. If I like the music, then I'm good with that. The origin story might color it a little bit. It might make it a little bit more. It might be something to think about while listening to the music. But I mean, it's not going to change whether I listen to it unless the origin story is pretty criminal in nature. I mean, if that's what's happening, then I might be like, whoa, I don't know if I can listen to this. Sebastian Bach. Or Bach. Let's see. So, any other? Do you guys have any thoughts about this as far as the whole organic thing, and if it's that important to you, and all that, or any thoughts regarding whether you can only like one BABYMETAL or BAND-MAID? That's a silly thing. It's so juvenile. It's like, dude, that's like high school logic. That's like you can only be. I was gonna say it's kind of like saying you can only be Metallica or Megadeth, but then again, there's a story to that one, isn't there? There's a story between those two bands. But I find that so, like the whole tribal nature around bands, and you see it. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, we all like this one band. We hate that other band. Why? Oh, we just do. Oh, you know. I mean, you as an individual may have your reasons to not like that band, but when it becomes like a group think thing where it's like, oh, like if you're a BABYMETAL fan going to a BAND-MAID Discord, I mean, do you get some questions? Or if you go to a BAND-MAID shirt wearing a BABYMETAL shirt, where you get some, you might run into the occasional asshole. You might, but they probably won't even say anything to you. I mean, they might know. They might figure that you're wanting them to say something to you, though. Now, let's see. Man, I think that's it, man. I think this is not even a 40-minute stream, guys. I figured this topic would. Man, it's pretty silly. It's pretty straightforward. It's like, who really cares? Yes, one band formed this way, the other band or group formed this other way. And it is what it is. You can't change that. It doesn't mean one's better than the other. You might like that story better than the other. Sure. I mean, no. And that's essentially it, guys. Wow. I'll get my face off the screen. Where are these comments? Well. Oh, I guess there's one other thing we could talk about here. No sense making it a separate video since we're talking about baby metal stuff here. Thought I saw this. Where was it? It was an interesting post about decorum at a baby metal show. I wanted to check it out together with you guys. Okay. So, baby metal subreddit. And the question is it appropriate to yell out "fuck yeah" at a baby metal concert? Full stop. Like, why would it be inappropriate? Why? The only time it would be inappropriate to yell "fuck yeah" at a baby metal concert is if, like, some dude brought his, like, little girl there for some reason, and you're like shouting it into her freaking ear. You're like, "fuck yeah." Okay? Even if you shout it next to her, you know what? It's his mistake for bringing her to a baby metal concert, okay? Whatever. There's going to be drunk adults around. They'll be excited to see the music or hear the music and see the show, like myself. I'm yelling "fuck yeah" when they're playing. I don't give a shit. What the hell? I mean, you paid the ticket to see him. Say whatever you fucking want if you're excited to see him. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, wait, well, don't say whatever you want. I mean, so let's see what he says. He says, serious question. Is it serious? Is that a serious question? He starts off with a serious question. I don't think it's a serious question. Okay. Serious question. I'll be attending the upcoming Philly and New York City concerts. This may also lead to general discussions about the topic of cursing and baby metal, which is an interesting one to me, so feel free to chime in with your take on this matter. Says, I used to frequent Mushroom Head, my favorite band before baby metal took over, shows back in the day, and one of the things I would do when I got super amped and I was excited was yell out "fuck yeah." I would get lost in the moment. Something else would take over, and I would yell out those words. Okay. I don't even curse much in normal life, and it is annoying to me when someone drops the F-bomb like 5 times casually in one sentence. Okay, well, I find that kind of annoying, too. I don't really cuss as much as you might think. I try not to cuss a whole lot in these streams. Not for even the algorithm thing, but because my kids will watch these streams, and I don't want to throw a bunch of F-bombs when I tell them to watch their language. Yes, I'm an adult. I'll use those words. And I also want to set the example that you don't have to use those words. Even as an adult, you don't really have to use those words. And actually, it's more effective if you use them occasionally, because if you use it all the time, it just saturates it and just becomes watered down. And it's like, you ever watch like Clerks, or like those movies where there's like F every, like F this, F that, F this, F that. It's like, okay, I get it. Is that just something you say? Does it not even matter? Like, it's not funny anymore. But not to sound like a dad or an old man over here, but that's my thing. Anyway, it is overused at that point. I would be the only one. That would be the only time I would say clean up language is necessary. I am only okay with it once in a while, especially if it comes from a place of emotion or a heat of the moment type of thing when the time calls for it. Getting amped up at a baby metal concert would probably be one of those moments. Watching all those fan cams, knowing myself, I would catch myself in one of those moments waiting for the commies and the ladies to hit the stage. It is only a controversial topic when it comes to baby metal for some reason. This isn't even a a thought or a concern in other metal communities. Some outsiders don't even bother with baby metal and all even mock them. Okay, we could move on. Oh, that's just for kids, even though I argue against. Oh, so that's his thing. So in his head, he thinks this is just for kids. So why would he be Oh, he needs to get over that real fast. He needs to get over that real fast. But what are you talking about? Like, what are you thinking? It's not like just for kids. It's not like that. Like sure, kids can go there, I guess. But there's like Death Clock before, and I wouldn't do that. It's not really that sort of thing, especially at a live concert. And there's huge crowds and all sorts of stuff could happen. I would just not. I would just not do that. I'm not taking my little kids to around a bunch of drunk idiots that I don't know. Okay, I'm not doing that. Okay. Anything else here? No, I think that's it. I think this guy just has a question about. Yeah, so he says it's only a controversial statement when it comes to baby metal for some reason, because essentially the metal community mocks baby metal and thinks it's just for kids. And he says, even though I argue against those, I do see how they are family friendly. Well, yeah, there's that. But they're not Dora the Explorer, sure. So, but you could yell "fuck yeah" at a fucking baby metal concert. I fucking did. I did for sure. The people next to me did for sure. We were excited. Now I was probably the most excited. And I was probably the most drunk. When the comedy band walked on stage and the girls followed after, I was like super amped. And then when they were playing Baby Metal Death, and they did the hit, Give Me Chocolate, I was like, oh man, that's so cool. Yeah. I mean, just don't even worry about it, man. Just enjoy yourself. Just enjoy the show. Enjoy the show, man. Anyway, let me see what you guys thought about that. Repo Boss says people are so sensitive these days. Yeah, right? Jimmy says, yeah, no big deal. Obviously, don't run kids over, but I mean, they're playing with Death Clock, and they say much worse throughout the show. Yeah, they do. They even have like nudity in their cartoon thing, which I don't mind, obviously, right? I don't think I needed to state that. Okay. In fact, the only problem with the Death Clock show is that there is not enough nudity. There need to be more titties. If that was the problem, there wasn't enough titties on the screen behind them. There was a motorcycle. That was cool. And dudes doing very metal stuff, but we needed more titties. Let's see. Marty Metal says an interviewer once said to Sue Metal, "You guys fucking destroyed that stage," and she politely said, "Thank you very much." Yeah, man. And that's a metal answer right there. Repo Bob, he ain't going to a Paw Patrol show. No, he's not. He's not at all. Jimmy says, I admire the fact that they keep their lyrics clean and it's so polite. Oh yeah, that's a good thing too. I like that too. They keep it clean. And that's by design. Clearly by design. In fact, you gotta think when Cobra Metal put out those mask warnings on that stuff during COVID, they also had they're not gonna do moshes and stuff like that. Remember that stuff over in Japan? If they came out with all this stuff they're not gonna do because of COVID and all that stuff. They had kids in there. They had kids in the imagery. So, and I was like, okay, so this is definitely in mind. That sealed it for me being like, okay, when they're coming up with the music for all this stuff, they definitely keep that in mind. They want it to be something that everyone can enjoy, children or adults as well. Okay, so, but it's not like just, you know, you can say something's family friendly, but it doesn't mean it's you know, like, well, like Paw Patrol. Okay, it doesn't mean like it's that. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I don't see a problem with it. Enjoy it in the moment. Okay. You're not seeing some Nickelodeon show. All right. Or some Disney show. It's okay to get a little drunk and yell, fuck yeah. Just don't throw your can. Don't throw your can at them. They're not gonna like that. Don't throw your bottle. Okay? Don't do that. With that said, I think that's it, guys. I think that's it. I think that wraps up our Baby Metal stream, man. Baby Metal and BAND-MAID. Look at that. With that said, man, I thank you guys for hanging out in the chat and making it to where I'm not just talking to myself. And y'all take it easy. Have a good one.